What's up, everybody? Name's Harrison. People know me by Broke WRX. This right here is my 2019 Subaru. Probably get some better clips posted up on it. This right here is the Subaru that a lot of people may have seen. Prior to this state, it's been stanced out for the, about 5 years, 4 years, give or take. But from high demand of a lot of people asking, they want me to, try to keep up on the process, videoing it and everything, but kind of just winging it as I go. But I'm right now in the process of trying to get the engine in a startable state. I want to just make sure oil pressure's good and everything. The harness is just laid out and everything, but try to start it up, make sure oil pressure's good, and then pull it back out, do DOD delete, do a cam, like to do LS7 heads. But get the DOD delete done, do the cam, rockers, the whole nine. I don't want to do rods, pistons, or anything like that. That'd probably be something later down the road when I want to make more power, but right now I'm looking at a 400 range. I want to be, it's probably gonna be low 400s, give or take, but varying on fuel. I like to be in the mid 400s. But this is the mess I got going on. Still have to limit the stock harness. I guess the point of this video today really, and what I want to try to lay out, is what I want to do, what the plan is, and what is upcoming with the car, because there's a lot that needs to be done. As from what I know, a lot of people have not done the swap. I know a lot of people are trying to. I know a few people are trying to do the same exact swap, but to my knowledge, it hasn't been done from what I can find online. But I guess I'm gonna cover today what I got going on in the car, what is planned to be done. Currently has no suspension, has the rear subframe in with the hub still connected, no coilovers are on the car. That's something I'm gonna replace, is all the coil, or do a whole new set of coils. Stock rear end, I'm probably gonna do a STI rear end for right now. I do have a few options of what I can do. It's just gonna take some fabrication work to the subframe. Aside from the rear end and coils, STI axles to hold up with the power. Front, it's gonna be reverse knuckles. Driver's gonna be on passenger, passenger's gonna be on drivers, because with the swap, a decent bit had to get cut out from the subframe, you can see. So right where the hump is on the oil pan, if it'll focus, that's where the original steering rack was. With flipping the knuckles around, it's going to position the tie rod end leg forward. With that being said, I got to make custom mounts in front of the motor mounts to put a new steering rack in. I'm not going to use the Subaru rack. I'm going to use a Toyota Prius rack, so it's electronic. That way I still have some relief. I'm not trying to just manhandle the steering wheel, turn everywhere. That's with the flipping the knuckles. I'm gonna do that. The steering situation, that's kind of covered. The rack's relatively cheap. Transmission I'm using is CD09 with a 4LED bell housing. That's gonna be buttoned up to the 5.3. Once that's all set and done, I can, from what I kind of figured out lengthwise, I can use, stop header. I can use the factory Subaru mount location, the trans mount for that. So it's kind of, it's not a hard swap. And I've done a few on older vehicles or whatnot, but I've done a few before, and I was kind of going at this blind. Nobody's ever done it. I have no info on anything. So with no info on anything and going at it blind, I mean, it's kind of just do what you want. It's got to be done right at least, but I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to accomplish something that I've not seen done. I'm not asking anybody for help. I've done everything on this car really myself. So pitch angle is kind of where it needs to be at. Once I button the trans up, it may affect it a little bit, but I like where the engine sits. But aside from the transmission, the CD09, a few things that I'm planning on doing. I don't know. I'm making this video because a lot of people have asked me to do it. Kind of a process update and video of the process of doing this. I don't know if y'all want, for who watches or whatnot, I don't know if y'all want segments of in-depth work, because there is a lot that needs to be done. The headers, I still got to make the headers, still got to make the pedal box. I'm either going to try to buy an E30 pedal box that has a Willwood setup, or just fabricate my own and kind of just go with it. But yeah, so we get the headers, the pedal box. I still have to run, run front brake lines. The rear I can salvage. Yeah, so headers that I do the cooling setup. I'm gonna use the factory Subaru radiator because it's gonna mount right back in its original location. It's gotta route the piping for that. It's gonna be electronic water pump. It's not gonna be fan driven as this thing came. Aside from that, we got cooling, headers are gonna be done. Fuel system, it's gonna be a non-return style system. So it'll be a 25-gallon fuel cell in the back. I just gotta run AN lines for the front. That way I can run ethanol and all that, really whatever. So fuel, cooling, headers, drive shaft covered. Once drive shaft's in, yeah, measure the length on that, get that sent out. Got a guy in Orlando that's gonna build the drive shaft. I don't know, I mean, it's kind of more so, what do people want to see? I've never made videos like this before. I know a lot of people are asking, so I try it out. Why not? But aside from that, I got neighbor next door. He does a bunch of audio wiring. He's gonna make me a ignition harness and a kill switch, and as well as a harness for headlights and brake lights, or tail lights, sorry. He's gonna make that harness so that way it kind of all works. Of course, a lot of the dash components are not going to work, of course. As for the bezel, taking this bezel out, neighbor's going to take that. He's got a CNC plastic machine. I don't know what the hell it's called, but he can make me a flat panel for the screen. It's a 7-inch screen. Dash is going to come out. I'm going to gut the whole dash. All this is going away, taking the evap box out and everything. Basically just try to make it, you know, as empty as possible with nothing in it. But once that is out, I'm gonna mount the ECU and everything through the firewall properly. It's gonna go bolted on in a, you know, accessible location. I do have PDMs, just a simple, you know, design. Can run fans, fuel pump, ground, you know, the whole nine. I'll, you know, run everything to that. I want to try to make a simplistic panel on the passenger side. Probably do a glove box delete for now, or find something that I can just, you know, mimic the panel as a flat plate. I just want to make everything simple and easy and accessible to get to everything. I don't want anything to be hard if a fuse were to blow or something fucks up or whatever. So make sure it's all relatively easy to access. But yeah, a lot still has to be done. Of course, you have somewhat of a tube chassis in the front. I am gonna brace it, crossover, and now with the front portion of the core support cut, is gonna be plated, run, I think, 2.5 inch tubing, same thing, run it straight across. Once the engine's all set and done, transmission set and done, it'll come back out again. I'm gonna re-brace the subframe because I didn't cut a lot, but I cut a decent bit. I mean, there was, give or take, 4 or 5 inches were cut off the subframe. So I would like to at least, you know, leave it structure support. Trying to see what else I can cover. I mean, there's really not much to it. I mean, a lot of people see it as a very high in-depth process to do the swap. Yes, it is, but it's not hard. A lot of people can do it. The kit I went with is Ace's fuel system. It's a plug and play harness. You know, they supplied everything, manifold, rails, injectors. I'm not using those injectors that they came with because they're 35 pound. I get bigger injectors. But I mean, everything's very well intake air temp labeled, knock sensor. I mean, it's relatively straightforward. Here's your ECU, 7-inch screen. It shows everything you need to monitor on this thing. The only thing that you really have to do wires wise, get your ignition, 12-volt battery, not focusing for shit, your ground. I mean, that's all you need to get the harness powered up, ECU powered up. Then you got, an extra harness for additional wires, whatever you want to add it to, fans, whole nine. Aside from that, I mean, kind of got the basics of what it needs to be done. There is still, like I said, a lot to do, a lot to learn, and one-off, because I've not done this on a 19 Subaru. I've not done it on any newer car like this, so a lot of things got to be made up on your own. But aside from engines, yeah, coilovers, go back to Racer X lowers. The plan of this car is to be a drift car. It was a stance car for the majority of, if not its whole life. So a lot of things need to be addressed, touched up. The subframe in the rear, I'm gonna replace. It's been dragged through. Same with, it's on the dollies. Subframe's been raised, but the differential needs to go. It's, missing a good portion of the bottom of the diff. But it'll be fun. I guess for the purposes of this video, if anybody wants to watch or, has any questions or whatnot, I'll try to address it in the next video if, it goes to that point. Or if somebody wants to, hey, can you be in depth about, doing the headers or the brake pedal assembly, any individual little things I have to do to get this thing up and going. The goal of this car, like I said, I'm trying to have it, dialed in, running, good to go. For GAT is kind of a hurdle. I think it's like a month and 20 days or something like that. So there is a lot to still do. It's just I'm doing it after work every day and then on the weekend. So it's kind of where the motivation comes in. If I got enough, then I'll mess around with as much as I can until I want to stop. But yeah, I think I can have it done by GAT. I'm not trying to rush anything, of course, but I also want it done right. I also want it to function and do all the things I want this car to do. I want to beat on it. The power range output, I want it to be a safe 400 so I can just dog the shit out of it. I want to clutch kick it like crazy, so I don't know. It's a good bit left to do, but I don't see it surpassing a month and 19 days. The only thing I might be struggling on is getting a new wheel set up and coilovers. But I don't know, we'll cross that path when it comes. Just want to make sure everything drivetrain wise is good, everything can handle it, cooling system is good, and then figure out coilovers and wheels from there. But short video, wasn't gonna be much. I just want to put something out there, see if anybody is interested in, tagging along or watching the process of this. I'll try to film as much as I can and as best as I can. But yeah, like I said, if anybody wants to pick the direction of what they want to see first, then, comment on the video and like it, of course. That helps out and gets more of an audience and attention. So, but these here are also the headers. They're front-facing headers, so it's got two benefits. It's gonna be fender exits. Well, I'm utilizing the stock, or not stock, the original hole cutout I had before when I had a fender exit on the FA20 motor. I'm gonna mirror it to the passenger side. The passenger side's gonna have the same location of the hole. This is how, I just have it mocked up. This is the headers that I'm using. Got driver's side on. But it's gonna be a 90 straight down, 90 out, and then straight out shot at the bumper. Not sure how I want it to shoot out, if I want it to do a turn up or whatnot. But that's really about it. Like I said, just comment if you have any questions, or if you want to see a specific direction of what I want to, or what you want to see on installation wise, or more of an in-depth thing, because that's kind of what I plan on doing, is more in-depth of, gutting the dash, or, doing the pedal assembly, transmission work, the drivetrain work, just you know, more specifics. It's a lot of people online, or for instance, YouTube wise, they're just gonna say, oh, here's this, and then fast forward to the next clip as the car's already done or it's running. I don't want to do something like that. I'd rather be specific, you know, showing you where your ground strap's gonna go on the harness. If you wanted to go with something like this harness, because it's a very simple harness, it's very affordable, very cheap, came with everything, rails, manifold injectors, harness, ECU, screen. I think I paid just shy of $1,400, a little bit under. Fortunate that they're right up the road from me, so if I have issues, I can give them a call or see if I can get somebody down here to help me out if there is ever any issues. I know a buddy just down the road, he's got the same kit and everything and starts right up, no problem. Drives, it's got a self-tuning thing. I probably just use this for the startup portion of it and then get a tuner out here to street tune it. But yeah, if you're interested in watching, you know, just like, subscribe. Instagram is broke WRX. That's how a lot of people know me. They really don't know my real name. They see me at shows or whatnot. They just call me by my Instagram name. But yeah, try to tune into the next one if I decide to make one. But appreciate y'all watching if you made it to the end. And if you have any questions, yeah, just comment down below.